The Office is one of the funniest, most influential, and most Dundee-worthy sitcoms of all time.
Yes. Thank you. That was not necessary, but I appreciated it.
The American version of the cult hit BBC series gave us 9 seasons of cringe comedy and will they or won't they romantic subplots. As the Dunder Mifflin gang were getting ready to say goodbye, the producers of The Office tried for a spin-off centered around Dwight and his eccentric family of beet farmers. Why didn't the Dwight spin-off happen? And what other Dunder Mifflin employees were considered for their own solo shows? Find out on Behind the Backdoor Pilot, The Office.
They're a descriptive people.
Welcome to Atomic Abe's Behind the Backdoor Pilot, the series that takes a deep dive into episodes of beloved TV shows that are actually secret pilots for potential spin-offs. Subscribe to Atomic Abe to watch our episodes on the failed spin-offs of Married with Children, Gossip Girl, and more. Hit the bell to be notified when new videos drop. Going into its 9th season, The Office cast and crew knew the end was near.
The thing I'm most proud of is being a part of this.
As the final season kicked off, the producers of The Office decided to try for a spin-off, and NBC nodded in the affirmative. Dwight Schrute, the martial arts-obsessed, socially awkward beet farmer, expertly played by Rainn Wilson, was the most obvious choice for a spin-off.
I have a wig for every single person in the office.
A spin-off would see Dwight achieving his dream of finally running the office, right? Nope. It was about Dwight running the family beet farm with his siblings we've never seen before.
Let's run at Shirley's farm.
Dwight's offbeat farm life was a recurring source of jokes on The Office.
I always imagine less manure.
You need to spread it.
I mean, some manure, just less.
So the decision was made to set the spin-off at bucolic Schrute Farm.
Welcome to Schrute Farm!
According to The Office creator Greg Daniels, Dwight's backstory was based on Rainn Wilson's own rural upbringing. When it came time to develop the Dwight spin-off, Toby stepped in.
Why are you here? I didn't even invite you to my birthday party.
I work here.
Paul Lieberstein, who played put-upon HR rep Toby, was also a writer, producer, and showrunner on The Office. For season 9, Lieberstein left his showrunning duties and devoted all his time to crafting the Farm spin-off.
I spent that year mostly trying to get the spin-off going. So I really wasn't a daily part of the writer's room.
Season 9.
Season 9. Writing and directing The Farm, I think, was the only time I directed that year, too.
Rainn Wilson and Paul Lieberstein would often joke about Dwight's farm life and how he's totally the wrong person to run a bed and breakfast. So the spin-off would apply The Office's mockumentary formula to a show about the ups and downs of Dwight and his family running the farm. Hold up. Did the film crew making a documentary about Dunder Mifflin also shoot footage for a backdoor pilot about Schrute Farm? Mind blown. The farm concept combined the fly-on-the-wall cringe comedy of The Office with the cozy rural life of Newhart. Rainn Wilson expressed excitement about the prospect of a Dwight-led show, telling E! News the spin-off would be even more far out and weirder than The Office. He got fans pumped on a Reddit AMA, promising the Dwight show would have geese and goats and Schrutes and hijinks at the bed and breakfast. Both Wilson and Lieberstein were optimistic that other Office cast members would cameo on the Dwight spinoff. Just imagine Stanley's stay at Schrute Farm. So a backdoor pilot for The Farm was made, which introduced new characters like Dwight's never-before-seen or mentioned brother and sister.
We shot it as, they call it a backdoor pilot. So it stands as an episode of The Office where there's a funeral on Dwight's farm.
The plan was for the Farm pilot to air a few episodes into season 9 of The Office and set up the Dwight spinoff.
The president of Hollywood calls this a backdoor pilot.
A backdoor pilot?
Yeah.
Seeds had been planted for Dwight's potential exit from Dunder Mifflin. Andy had been made manager of The Office, much to Dwight's dismay. Dwight and Angela had broken up, and Dwight was wrongly convinced he wasn't the father of baby Philip. If The Farm was chosen to go to series, Rainn Wilson and Dwight would have left The Office midway through season 9. The Farm would then premiere as a mid-season replacement show in the spring of 2013. But dreams for a spin-off of The Office came crashing down like Kevin's delicious chili. While the Farm spin-off was in development, NBC was transitioning to new management, something the Dunder Mifflin gang knows a lot about. Comcast had initiated acquisition of NBC from GE in 2009. By the fall of 2012, the deal was nearly finalized for Comcast to take over the Peacock network. And the new bosses didn't deserve a special mug.
I think that pretty much sums it up.
According to Paul Lieberstein, the new management at Comcast showed little interest in both The Office and its potential spin-off.
They didn't even know all the characters' names at that point. They weren't really following the show. I think we were just a disappointing line item at the time. Again, this is the shift over to the new management, Comcast. I mean, I don't see how someone could not give the Farm a chance, not give the Dwight spinoff like a chance. Like maybe what if it does find itself, you know?
In October of 2012, Rainn Wilson announced on Twitter that the Farm spinoff was closed for business permanently. In the same Twitter thread, a fan mentions a rumor that Wilson was going to be in Guardians of the Galaxy. Guess that didn't pan out either. But like the paper Dunder Mifflin pumps out, backdoor pilots are often recycled. TV networks are famous for sneaking in a failed pilot as a seemingly normal episode of a show. The 1980s sitcom 227 added a failed pilot for co-star Jack Kay into the regular lineup of episodes. You can learn all about that in our episode on the failed spin-offs of 227. In December of 2012, The Office creator Greg Daniels revealed that a retooled version of The Farm would air as a Season 9 episode. The Farm pilot was cut down from an hour to just 12 minutes. New footage was added to turn the discarded pilot into a regular episode of The Office. On March 14, 2013, The Farm aired as the 17th episode of Season 9. The episode begins on a tragic note with the death of Dwight's beloved Aunt Shirley.
I would say that she raised me, but let's not kid each other. I raised myself.
Dwight proceeds to determine who can attend the funeral with a Schrute family custom involving red and black dirt. Was this also how the producers decided which cast member would be in the backdoor pilot?
I get red dirt. Nobody is getting red dirt.
Poor Oscar Nunez. The rest of the cast got the day off and he had to be in the Dwight pilot. We then leave the comforting familiarity of Dunder Mifflin and go to Schrute Farm. Whew, at least Dwight's hilarious cousins Mose and Zeke are here. Maybe this backdoor pilot won't be so bad.
Mose, Mom says hi.
Hi to Mom.
And that's the last we see of fan favorite character Mose. Michael Schur, who played Mose on several episodes, was also a writer-producer on The Office. But by the time the Dwight backdoor pilot rolled around, Michael Schur had left The Office and was busy working on Parks and Recreation, the show he co-created with Greg Daniels. Fun fact, Parks and Recreation was initially developed as a spin-off of The Office, but the creative team decided that Leslie Knope and the Pawnee Gang should stand on their own. Mose is a cult favorite among Office fans, so it's too bad that he only gets a brief cameo in the backdoor pilot. And had the Farm gone to series, Mose would have been MIA. Luckily, Zeke sticks around for the Farm pilot. You might recognize Matt Jones from Breaking Bad, where he played Badger.
I was on the finale of The Office and the finale of Breaking Bad within like a month.
Next, we meet Dwight's brother Jeb. Oscar is as confused as we are.
You have a brother.
Jeb is played by a pre-Silicon Valley Thomas Middleditch. We also meet Fanny, Dwight's sister.
He started without me.
Oscar again serves as the confused viewer surrogate.
Who is that?
Dwight's sister.
And Zeke is all, it's a backdoor pilot. Just go with it.
Dwight has a sister.
Yeah.
She's beautiful.
Blah.
Fanny is played by Mahendra Delfino, who you might remember from Roswell, the show about pouty, sexy aliens. For more teen drama, check out our videos on the backdoor pilot episodes of Smallville and Gossip Girl. Fanny's a single mom living in the big city with her son Cameron. Cameron is played by Blake Garrett Rosenthal, who eagle-eyed Office fans might recognize as Kid on Hayride in the Season 7 episode Woof.com. Fun fact, Matt Jones and Blake Garrett Rosenthal would go on to play father and son on the CBS sitcom Mom.
I was never here.
We also meet Esther, Dwight's third cousin and new love interest.
Hi, Esther. Nice of you to come today.
This was on the way.
And her dad, Mr. Brugger. He's played by Alan Havey, a hilarious stand-up who's been in everything from Seinfeld to Mad Men. He also hosted Comedy Central's early 90s talk show, Night After Night with Alan Havey. The funeral has some solid, wacky Dwight moments.
We decided to make sure that our dead were completely dead.
That's it for me.
And Oscar decides to nope out of the backdoor pilot. Let's check back in at the office. Hey, Todd Packer is back, and he brought cupcakes.
From that place, Nipples.
I think it's called Nibbles.
Ha! The mind sees what it wants to, huh?
Back at the farm, the Schrute siblings discover that Aunt Shirley had a secret wish for saving the family business.
Dwight, Fanny, Jeb, if you come back home, I will leave you my farm.
Dwight, whose entire deal is wanting to be the boss at Dunder Mifflin, immediately throws 9 seasons of character motivations out the window.
Let's run at Shirley's farm. I'm in. Boom.
Fanny and Jeb are reluctant to drop everything for farm life.
The people here are like a fart.
And we get a sense of the dynamics between Dwight and his siblings that presumably would have carried into the farm series. Jeb is kind of the Jim of the farm pilot, if Jim was a burnout who owned a pot farm.
I am now in the business of pain management, or the smoking of pain management.
Speaking of Jim, he's barely in this entire episode.
I should apologize too.
Fanny is the Pam of the farm, an aspiring poet who provides deadpan reactions to Dwight.
We're at a funeral. There's a funeral going on here.
Okay.
Dwight tries to make his siblings nostalgic for good old-fashioned farm life.
Nostalgia is truly one of the great human weaknesses, second only to the neck.
And leads a group sing-along of a Decemberists cover. These are some hip beat farmers. We can't play the Decemberist song for copyright reasons, so here's a sound-alike we found when we searched for sad folk music. Sunshine. Dwight courts Esther with a Schrute family custom involving bird beaks. Did Dwight and Esther invent the cottagecore trend? Probably. Fun fact, Nora Kirkpatrick, who plays Esther, is a real-life accordion player and a founding member of the band Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros. Dwight also bonds with Cameron.
Didn't your father teach you anything?
I never met him.
If the farm had gone to series, would Dwight have gone from office menace to surrogate farm dad? A potential father figure for Cameron is enough to make Fanny decide to give up city life and stay at the farm. Jeb also decides to stay, though we never learn why since so much of the farm pilot was left on the cutting room floor.
There's actually a lot more of the pilot that didn't make it into the episode.
So what happened with Packer's cupcakes?
Packer laced the cupcakes.
No!
Yeah, they should have listened to Pam.
Don't eat the cupcake.
The Packer cupcake subplot offers some amusing moments, like Andy and Kevin's adventures while high. But it feels tacked on and disconnected from the Ernest family plotline that was supposed to set up the farm spinoff. The farm received a mixed reaction after it aired.
When you're a farmer, you don't worry about media BS.
Critics noted the Frankenstein nature of the episode, with the Farm A story and the Office B story awkwardly tossed together like Kevin's salad. The author of the Office oral history book called The Farm one of the worst episodes ever. Viewed today, The Farm isn't the worst episode of The Office. Episodes like Gettysburg, Get the Girl, and The Banker rank much lower on IMDb and fan lists. But it's definitely a weird episode. The Dwight in the farm scenes is a far less wacky and much more subdued version of the character that we've come to know and love for 9 seasons. Compared to the agent of chaos we see in the episode's opening scene throwing dirt in his coworkers' faces, Farm Dwight feels like an attempt by the writers to create a toned-down take on the character, one who could anchor his own show. Without Jim, Pam, and the rest of the Office gang to play off of, Dwight's farm antics fall flat.
That's a cow?
Did you just ask me if this was a cow?
Zeke is always a welcome presence.
Yes. Absolutely.
But Jeb and Fanny are thin characters without much comedic potential. Early press for the spinoff described Jeb as Dwight's lackadaisical Bigfoot hunting brother and Fanny as his lefty urbanite sister. But whatever humorous qualities the pair had in the hour-long pilot were left on the cutting room floor. One potentially interesting character was completely removed when the farm was cut down to fit half of an Office episode. Casting News mentioned that character actor Tom Bauer would be playing Dwight's great-uncle Heinrich. Heinrich is described as charming, greedy, manipulative, and may have had to spend time in Argentina following World War II thanks to his German National Socialist roots. Yep. The Dwight spinoff almost had a wacky Nazi uncle. Heinrich's role was reduced to a grumpy-looking background player. With the Farm spinoff deader than Aunt Shirley, Rainn Wilson finished out the final season of The Office. Dwight and Esther dated for a few episodes, but eventually, Dwangela got back together. Had The Farm gone to series, Dwight may have never found out he was actually the father of baby Philip. And fans would have been denied the perfect series finale, which saw Angela and Dwight tying the knot at Schrute Farm, and the return of Michael Scott.
Michael, I can't believe you came. That's what she said.
The Office finale set up another possible spin-off which never came to pass. Remember Dakota Johnson's character? Her brief appearance is more important than you might think.
Hi, I'm Dakota.
Jeff Bamundo. I sell ceramic tile out of Newark.
Johnson was brought on for the Office finale to set up a possible spin-off that would have followed the new crop of Dunder Mifflin employees.
I'm in it for like 3 minutes, and I spent 2 weeks on that set. I was there every day, all day. I felt like I was crashing someone's birthday party when they actually really didn't mean to invite me.
Johnson would have kept the Office legacy going alongside Clark Duke and future White Lotus star Jake Lacey. But like the Farm spinoff, NBC downsized hopes for the next generation of The Office.
That's all right, Pete. You can handle it.
In 2021, Dakota Johnson joked that if everything else just falls away, maybe you'll find me in that Office spinoff that no one wants to watch. But she added that it's for the best that the spinoff didn't happen, since sometimes things need to end when they're supposed to end. In an alternate universe, Dakota Johnson could have been taking orders from Dwight instead of Jamie Dornan. One spinoff The Office fans would love to see exists merely as a pipe dream. In 2020, Leslie David Baker, aka Stanley, put his signature glare on a crowdfunding campaign for the pilot, Uncle Stan. But since the project was never endorsed by NBC, it appears to be dead.
Settle down.
No way.
Get in the back, please.
We're still hoping for an official spinoff with Stanley solving crimes in sunny Florida. With The Office more popular than ever,
It's true.
a spin-off or reunion seems inevitable. Rainn Wilson even pitched a possible idea for a pandemic-themed reunion that involved a typically nefarious Dwight scheme.
I think it would be, he gets the call from corporate to get everyone back in the office, and everyone is resistant. So one at a time, Dwight has to kidnap every Office cast member and bring them into Dunder Mifflin in some kind of obscure and somewhat inappropriate way.
Where is this show? I need it right now.
Greenlit.
In my life.
In the end, it's probably for the best that the Farm spinoff never happened. It's possible it could have been a worthy extension of The Office, like Frasier was to Cheers. But it also could have been Joey.
My show is dead.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Atomic Abe and click the notification bell for more episodes of Behind the Backdoor Pilot, like the home improvement episode that launched a spinoff that Dave Chappelle doesn't want you to see.
I just want to state publicly that I'm sorry.